A year ago, American bureaucrats killed Intrade, the prediction market website where people could bet on most anything. And thanks to those bettors putting their own money where their own mouths are, people knew more about the future. Predictions on Intrade, whether about Oscar winners, elections, even the capture of Saddam Hussein, were much more accurate than predictions made by pundits and polls. Right before the last election, Bob Beckel was smart to cite the betting on Intrade.
They have Barack Obama at about 60-some% versus Mitt Romney at 30-some%.
First of all, I think they should stop looking at the betting sites because the Gallup poll tells it all. I believe it's 51 to 45, if I'm not mistaken, so it gives Romney a 51%.
No, Eric, the Gallup poll didn't tell it all. Intrade was right, as usual. But then it was banned by the new president's bureaucrats. An agency called the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, says Intrade is unlicensed and contrary to the public interest. Intrade shut down rather than try to fight the American government. Their closing was a loss to the world. But now, Intrade CEO Ron Bernstein says he plans to start Intrade up again.
Yes, that's right. We still think that there's a need for prediction market information to be brought to the public, and we'd like to do that.
Now, Intrade was based in Ireland. They escaped, but it still was shut down by American regulators because a lot of Americans bet.
Yes.
You're in New Jersey. How are you going to do this in New Jersey?
Well, we have a new game structure that doesn't fall within the remit of the CFTC, and therefore our new structure will allow us to accept American customers.
And you're just doing a sports bet.
We're going to begin with sports, but there's no reason why we can't do all types of content categories.
So already there's fantasy football, there's some forms of sports betting. How is yours different?
Well, instead of a bet, we have a contest structure. So it's not one person against any other one person. It's a contestant competing against all other contestants in a contest. It could also extend to American Idol or Grammy Awards or the Oscars and things like that.
Which Intrade used to do.
Yes.
The CFTC says this is contrary to the public interest.
We find that to be an amazing statement.
They say it could affect election results.
Well, it could affect election results, but many things can affect election results, including unrestricted spending on television ads.
Here's what your former CEO said about American regulations and why he would not even visit the United States.
I've been told I don't look good in an orange jumpsuit.
Now, after he said that, something worse happened to him. He tried to climb Mount Everest and died.
Yes, and very tragic, completely put the company into a management tailspin.
And so you shut it down until now?
Yes, well, the business relied on mostly American customers for the politics, and we would say that the presidential elections were like the Super Bowl of politics. And we found that after we restricted American customers, there just wasn't enough business to keep the prediction markets going.
And as far as the value of prediction markets, why they're better, it depends on the wisdom of the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds dubious, crowds. That can be more like a mob. But when you get a bunch of people together, the crowd usually knows better than any one expert. You see this on Millionaire. When a contestant's stumped, she can call an expert, usually a smart friend, or...
I am going to ask this geographically oriented audience, please.
She can poll the audience.
Now, the experts, they do pretty well. They get the answers right about 2/3 of the time. But the audience gets the answer right 91% of the time.
Good job, audience.
And this is what you want to expand.
Right.
Who needs Intrade back? Because there's some alternatives now. There's something called American Civics Exchange that offers a prize of $5,000 if you bet, and you can bet on things like Obama's approval numbers, where they'll be.
Yes, and that's a contest.
So that's okay somehow. Legally, it fits in the rules. In Ireland, hiding from the American autocrats, there's something called Predictious.com. I guess prediction.com was taken on the internet. It's pretty similar to Intrade, but doesn't yet have as much action as you guys have.
Right. It's based in Ireland, and I think that's a coincidence. But one important distinction is that Predictious uses Bitcoin. And we love Bitcoin, and we love the idea of Bitcoin. But the part that we have a problem with is that we've learned from our own experience that regulatory avoidance isn't a good business model.
It may work for a while, but then the government may crush you.
When traction starts to pick up and awareness picks up, then more people obviously pay attention.
Thank you. Ron Bernstein. And as you said, Predictious exists because it takes in bitcoins. It's a new form of currency. More businesses take them now. A pro basketball team, Las Vegas casinos. And when we return, more good news about Bitcoin.
Why accept Bitcoins?
Well, why not?
Cheapair.com has started accepting Bitcoins.
Monday, the Willis Report moves to 5.
Your show, your money, your voice.
Putting personal finance into perspective. Monday, the Willis Report at an all-new time.